have you seen that YouTube poop of Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
It's been a minute, but yeah.
This is like
it's peak.
I could probably quote this thing, and there are very few like
actual
words in it.
I'm going to do that throughout the podcast. Oh, wow.
Hey, welcome to Summon Greater Podcast.
Oh, podcast about homebrew and homies.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Today we've got a homie with us.
We have a homie finally. It's
you may have noticed.
You know what? It feels like it's been several episodes. It's only been 3 or 4.
Really?
I think so. Since we had
Who was the last homie?
Justin.
I think it was Justin.
It was Justin, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he did. He talked about his
okay, it's
Dimension
been
20
3 or 4
design.
Damn.
It's been a minute, but we're back. And we got Tyler.
We've got Tyler behind the scenes. We've been playing some games.
Yes.
But no games.
Unlimited games, but no games. Actually, that's been a lot of our time in the last year has been unlimited games.
But no games.
May was no games.
Yeah.
How does that work?
April was no games.
Well, we don't have time to get into this. Would you rather have unlimited games, but no games?
You're not.
No, I did it in the wrong way. How is it?
We're stealing this so
no
hard.
games.
This is from another podcast entirely, but you know what?
Yeah.
That podcast is dead now. So this is open source.
Yeah, it's public content.
Yeah, this is public domain.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather, Tyler,
Yes.
have unlimited bacon, but no more video games, or games, unlimited games, but no games?
How do you have wait.
He's getting it.
How do you have unlimited games but no games?
Well, just think about it. Unlimited games.
Right. Video games?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, any games.
Any games. Okay.
Just no games.
Okay. So my mind immediately goes to I have all the games possible. Tabletop, board, games, video games,
Certainly.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no games.
But no more games.
No games.
Meaning I take that as like everything is so serious now.
What do you mean?
See, that is
like the whole I ain't playing no games. It's like I have every game,
unlimited games, but like dead serious.
but I'm so serious when it comes to them.
That's an interesting
like
take.
no fun, all competition.
Yeah, that's a really interesting take on it because there is.
And then the
no
bacon
answer.
one, I'd rather have unlimited bacon and no
You
more
pick
video
the
games.
bacon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need pork in my life. Yeah.
Well, you
Okay.
can still
Goodbye,
have
video
other pork,
games.
It's just no bacon.
No,
Okay.
I need bacon. Yeah.
It's good. You always pick the bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a food guy.
Heck yeah.
Anyway,
what's your take on unlimited games?
Oh,
but
you
no
pick the
games?
bacon.
No, unlimited games, but no games.
I don't take that.
I choose bacon.
Yeah.
I don't accept this.
I don't accept.
I don't vibe with
Your,
this.
I don't vibe with your construct.
I think it was crystal clear, actually.
all unlimited games, but no games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I made it crystal clear. All games are in my possession, but there's no playing.
That's deep.
That's
Yeah.
Really hit something with that.
So there's this well-known game franchise that has almost unlimited games. It has a lot of games. It's called Fallout.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
We haven't been hitting that one pretty hard, but the sessions we've played of it have been substantial.
The sessions have hit pretty hard.
Yes.
Yeah. Man. I was just talking to my wife about, logistics for setting up the next one and everything. And she's like, for your Fallout D&D thing, she's like, do you think that there'd ever be a time where you could do the session in like a tight 2 or 3 hours? And I was like, absolutely impossible.
There's really
That
no
is
way.
impossible. Like,
It says a tight
no.
2 or 3 hours to get in the game.
Yeah.
It's a tight 6, maybe. Like, yeah, they are dense for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I like the density of them.
Yeah.
I like how heavily storytelling oriented
Uh-huh.
the Fallout sessions have been. I really, really like that a lot.
It's very different from Sophia's other campaigns because she leaves a lot of breathing room.
Yeah.
I feel, as is necessary anyway.
Mhm.
In the more high fantasy D&D type stuff.
Mhm.
But with this, it's consistently been go. Everything's happening around
Yeah.
you, and
Yeah.
you're here for the ride, bitch.
Mhm.
And also, you are my bitch.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah,
that.
it's true. I feel like the breathing time that she does give everybody is for like the critical story points. And they're very strategically laid out. Like when I can tell that she's starting to give us some breathing room because she's like, here's a little pocket of the narrative where you guys kind of need to figure some stuff out together.
Yeah.
But I know that once we do figure stuff out and we're like, okay, this is the direction that we want to go, she's going to sweep us up into a narrative again, and I like that. I like story. I like lore, I find myself not needing I need to put my hands on dice. I need to be shooting people like right now. I like just kind of being captivated by something for a little bit. And I think it leaves a lot of room for, again, just like homies to just kind of like hang out and enjoy a story together and play around with it and make jokes with it,
Yeah,
post memes in a Google Doc.
because I think
You
that's part of the draw for it too, specifically in the Fallout universe, is like the Fallout games are ones that you sit around and you take your time with and you just enjoy.
Yeah.
So like getting into it in D&D is cool because it means that you got your character and you are your character. And instead of sitting there with a controller and like selecting from pre-made dialogue options,
Yeah.
you get to say and do whatever you want. So there's a lot of chaos you can throw into it, and it's an insane amount of fun.
It's been, and I like how the Fallout universe is like intrinsically ingrained with goofiness because like when you're at a table with your friends, you want to have fun, you want to play around, you want to be goofy, and being goofy together is almost now like canonized in the lore of our campaign. Like it's like, oh, like, sorry, we're a little, we got a little off track. We were just having some fun. And Sophia's like, that's what you were supposed to do.
Right.
Like
You're doing your
because
job.
our characters are insane. They're insane people. Like,
I was
Oh,
going to say,
man.
my next thing leading into it has been, do you regret your character choice, or are you
not in the slightest.
into
No.
it?
I thought maybe I would regret my character choice when we were like a couple hours into like our session 0, just like play testing, because I was just like, what is this person?
What am I going to do with this?
But then I realized, like, again, like with the goofiness of Fallout, the more I was just like, let's just lean into it fully. Let's just 100% commit and see where it goes. I really, really have grown to love this character. I'd like to be able to see like a seriousness to his character at some point, because like he is in the middle of a faith crisis, and that's like a very serious thing. It can be handled in a goofy way.
I mean, he takes himself seriously.
He does.
But he's also delirious.
Yes, he is. He's very... Yeah, he don't know which way is up.
I was going to say, walk us through a little bit of that, like the faith conflict there. Because like I don't remember if we like even brought up your character in the last time we had you on the podcast. Had we even started Fallout?
I don't know if
we hadn't.
No, I don't think we had.
No.
I think it was before.
Yeah, walk us through just like a brief overview of your character so we get a better idea of,
Yeah. So in the Fallout universe, I play a character that's part of a faction called the Children of Adam. And the Children of Adam, ATOM, they are a cult of irradiated, on the cusp of mutated humans that worship radiation and the nuclear bomb as God, essentially. And I am a kind of like a fledgling priest missionary in training named Ezekiel Kane. And he is, again, a very highly irradiated, on the cusp of like ghoulification individual who also has been afflicted with one of Adam's many blessings, and that is turbo bowel cancer because of his radiation poisoning. So I am a very, very stinky boy, a very stinky boy. And essentially, like, if you were in the room with Ezekiel and he was trying to talk to you, he's like losing his voice and kind of his skin in some ways, and he's just leaking, essentially. And his crisis of faith comes into play where the higher echelon of the Children of Adam, they tell him, like, these are all part of Adam's blessings to you. Like, this is your process of apotheosis. It may feel like physical suffering, but there's so much more going on behind the veil, and you should embrace it. But then his just purely human side of him is just like, I'm dying and I feel horrible and I hate this. So Ezekiel is kind of seeking redemption for his situation, but he's not sure where it's going to come from. Is it going to come from his faith, or is it going to come from, like medicine and being cured of this? So it's crisis of faith is a very serious topic for a lot of people, but it's also handled in a goofy way because it's the vessel of storytelling for a faith crisis is coming from a leaking out of his butthole, taking himself way too seriously kind of dude.
Yeah, shitting type of guy.
Yeah, he is. He loves beans. Anytime our party comes across any kind of legume, he lays claim to it. They are his.
Also kind of makes the problem a little worse.
It does. I don't know why I decided that Ezekiel is just like, he loves beans. Maybe it's because the faith element of him is like, oh, this makes Adam's blessings even worse, like, or better in his, from his perspective.
Much more potency.
I also just like beans in real life. So I'm like, I want to inject that in there,
Weirdo.
You two are not alike in this
I
way.
love beans, man. I love beans so much.
Can't stand
every bean.
Goddamn sand bombs.
I don't know what it is. I love them so much.
The both of you are extremely interesting to me because beans are just like a very normal, regular part of a balanced diet.
Yeah.
Of any type, honestly.
Of course.
Like perfect if you're a vegetarian, acceptable if you're not.
I love beans, man.
But you're like a bean lover. That sounds really
Love
bad. That sounds
I am a bean lover.
really bad when I say it like that. But you hate them.
Can't stand the little fucks.
Like with actually a passion, and it's bizarre to me.
Except like green beans. I can do green beans.
Your hatred of beans borders on like bigotry. Like, get those X category of whatever away from me. They are less
I don't associate with those vegetables.
Exactly. Yeah. Those that category. I don't know.
This is the subplot of a Pajama Sam game.
Yeah, it is.
Your
So that's my
Fallout character is hilarious. And the crazy thing to me is that like that whole story of the like, I am falling apart from the inside because of who I have chosen to worship. And I am like the whole thing is this insane. Like there could be like a young adult novel series about this person, and it would be dramatic and crazy. And yet we sit around the table going, Kaiser, open my beans.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Or every time he talks to your character, you're just like, yo, you stink. You stink to the point where I can't hear you. You know? And so it's like, I really love this character because if our illustrious DM ever decided like Ezekiel should have like a pocket of seriousness, like let's kind of explore some elements of what's going on in his, you know, his psyche, his brain that is leaking out of the back of his head. Like we could do that because, you know, again, the topic of a man in a crisis of faith and a sect of people who is behind him trying to push a certain thing onto him. That's a very serious thing, and that can get really deep, and you can be as detailed as you want. But it's also kind of funny because like he leaks out of his butthole, you know, and the party is so used to it to the point where they're just like, you know, as long as I don't have to share a sleeping bag, like I'm fine with it at this point.
Stank ass over
Exactly.
there.
So you could be as serious or as goofy as you want with it, and so I like that we can do both with him. I mean, you can play around with him in all kinds of ways, you know, and I really. I love my leaky boy. I really do. Ezekiel, he's great.
Is there like a real life parallel that you equate his struggle to?
Yeah. So I came up with his name Ezekiel Cain because one, Ezekiel in the Bible is like the trippiest prophet. He had like, of all like the visions, he had the weirdest ones. And I was like, well, an irradiated, degenerating person might see some stuff. And then Cain being the first murder in recorded history, you know, Ezekiel Cain is not exactly the nicest person. Like I've killed people at this point, I think.
Oh yeah. Badass.
I think it was on accident. What was the first combat encounter we had? It was in the Silver Shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in the bar.
It was in the bar.
Because it was pre session one. It was the one that
yeah,
the played.
Right.
And I think the combat encounter we had was like a bar fight, and I'm pretty sure the people that were attacking us, I'm pretty sure we killed them because our rolls were so bad. I think we killed them on accident.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
I
mean, well, first one was on accident.
I think we like
And
Three
then
Stooges caved somebody's head in.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, and then
Which one
Kaiser
was-
fucking melted a guy. Like
That's right.
atomic
I mean,
blast.
And that was on purpose.
After the first fatality, like they kind of started bum rushing us, so it's like,
Yeah.
they gotta go now.
Exactly.
Damn it.
Yeah.
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 like I'm not gonna die. You're gonna
You
die.
are, yeah.
Also, they're raising a rather large stink about just our presence.
That's
in
true.
general.
They were pissed
Yeah.
off that we were there, and so we said, "No, you don't have to be here."
Yeah. As far as like real life parallels, I think like, you know, being somebody that has had a faith of their own for so long, for as long as I can remember, has come with my own like seasons of like being in crisis, so to speak, like where you encounter like an element of your faith or your worldview where you're like, when I was young, this made total sense. But now that I'm older and I can pick it apart, I feel like it doesn't. But I want it to make sense because like I rely on this for like understanding my own reality. And it can be like a really, really terrifying territory to feel like your worldview is starting to crumble. But when you come to the other side of that process and you have found certainty in realms and in areas that you never thought possible when you were a young person, you're almost like more solid, you know? And I think also just like being in like just a faith sector for so long, everybody has like that process where you can kind of pick people in a group and you're like, okay, they're falling apart at the seams because they're in the middle of a deconstruction process. They'll be fine. They'll be okay. You know, and then other people who are either like losing elements of their faith or gaining them back again. You know, I've always found it really fascinating how we do that as people. And so like Ezekiel, his faith crisis kind of mirrors that, where like I have met so many people that have had to deconstruct an element of their worldview because they're like, I'm trying to make it make sense again because of whatever factor in their life made it not made sense all of a sudden. Ezekiel was kind of like my way of kind of playing with that idea, or like he's kind of like a vessel for me to kind of continue to process that very fascinating element of the human experience, you know, while also being able to have fun with the fact that he just has diarrhea all the time, you know. So I guess that would be like the real life element to it. It's just, it's what he's going through is something that I have encountered either personally or just socially.
Yeah.
All the time. You know, it's something I'm familiar with. It's something I'm fascinated with. And it's something that people can have fun with, you know, or that I want to have fun with, because it's such a serious topic. But when I was still a high school teacher, one of the things that we said in my classroom was, if you can't joke, you can't cope. And so being able to joke about the fact that he's having a very serious problem, like, I don't know what to do about the fact that I hate the God that I worship, while still also joking about the fact that he loves beans because it makes his diarrhea worse, and he kind of gets a kick out of making everybody mad about it. Like, that's a good thing, you know, like, you should be able to joke about it and have some fun, you know, like, have fun exploring serious topics, you know. So
if you've got constant chronic volcano ass diarrhea, at least make it funny.
Exactly. Yeah. Like genuine, this is going to get dark, but like real world, genuine, like stage 4 bowel cancer is not funny, but Ezekiel's bowel cancer is funny. And that's okay. Like, we can be in this realm and still smile. You know, I like playing with that.
This again is the nature of Fallout. Like,
yes,
like extremely horrific illness and death are played off as like the funniest shit in the game.
It's played off as just Tuesday, you know, like, and that's what's so funny. 'Cause like, it's not funny because the situation itself is funny, but it's funny because Fallout, the universe lets you make it absurd. And that's what makes it funny.
It just kind of makes fun of life itself.
Exactly. Because honestly, like, this is just my opinion, but honestly, at the end of the day, like, tragedy, I think, like, by its very nature, is an absurdity. It's like a violation of the natural order, and absurdity is just one step away from funny if you're willing to like risk it. You know, like, in my opinion. And that's what's fun, like, about
be
Fallout.
Humble too.
What do you mean?
I guess I'm thinking in the religion direction again. Like, it takes a degree of humility to approach a struggle that people of your own faith have, or you have had, in that manner.
It's an act of humility to not take oneself too seriously, because humility is having a proper view of yourself, right? A proper view. And I feel like part of how I have found a proper view of myself is not taking myself too seriously. Because once you start taking yourself too seriously and you're not fun anymore, like, that's an entire swath of the human experience that, like, you've just decided, like, I want to opt out of it, you know? And that's, why would you do that?
Right. Also not fun.
Yeah. This isn't funny. This is serious, guys. Like, I'm trying to understand life again. It's like, well, then laugh about it. Like, haha, you're existentially spiraling. Yeah. Haha, you're spiraling. Ha ha ha. You know, like, you'll be okay.
It's like, oh, you just told me an incredible amount about you.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
I could pick you apart in 5 minutes.
Yeah. You were vulnerable. Look at you. You have bowel cancer. And that's why I love Ezekiel, because, you know, we can do that. Like,
I feel like another fun thing about Ezekiel is that, like, because the other aspect of fantasy that you've been getting into in the last year or two has been Warhammer.
Oh yeah.
And
oh my gosh, yeah.
Warhammer is like Fallout, but not. Like, it is the like intensity of like end game world ending shit.
Yeah.
But they're also like, if you laugh, we're gonna kill you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
yeah, there's no smiling allowed in Warhammer ever, and that's why it's funny.
Right?
Is because in universe, there very well may be in universe a planet or a regime where if you smile, you will die for it. You know, because it's so as a universe, it's so overwhelmingly dark that it becomes absurd. And that's what's fun about it. Yeah, I freaking love Warhammer so much.
I was gonna ask you, when you were making Ezekiel, did any of the choice for his like backstory and like the route you decided to go with him come from like Warhammer or what you read?
Oh gosh, yes, 100%. Yeah. So I discovered Warhammer through YouTube like 4 or 5 years ago. No, like 4 years ago, a video popped up on my feed that basically said it was like the making of a Space Marine Warhammer 40K lore video. And I was just like, why not go down a rabbit hole and absorb a universe? Sure.
Fuck it. We ball.
Let's go for it. And I was so enthralled over like how over the top just the lore of it was. Like, you know, a Space Marine is basically just like an elite super soldier. Like we've seen it in sci-fi ad infinitum, right? You've seen Master Chief, friggin' Samus, you know, Space Marines, whatever, the Terran Marines from StarCraft. Super soldiers are dime a dozen. But the way in which Warhammer handles like how someone becomes a Space Marine was so over the top, where I was just like, it's so far beyond anything reasonable that it becomes unique. And I was like, well, I'm into this now. And then I found some like lore tubers that like, you know, did deep dives on different Warhammer stories and blah, blah, blah. And once I realized that it was such a gigantic universe that has been added to for decades, I was like, this is fun. Like I will never run out of interesting stuff with this universe, and I can consume it like at my leisure, because I'm a filthy casual. I like taking things in casually at my leisure. And I can do that with Warhammer. So with Ezekiel, the things that I kind of borrowed from Warhammer was, one, his just very over the top nature, like actually rotting away in front of people as he talks to them, you know, is a very kind of over the top concept. And the fact that he's not dead yet, he should be, but he's not. His crisis of faith, that's a huge motif all through Warhammer, because of just like the extreme religious like zealotousness that you see of certain factions. I thought was like really cool and lends way to some really like serious stories. So I borrowed some elements for sure. And I think like how Warhammer is kind of like Fallout in the sense that like in Warhammer, there is an apocalypse happening like every week on every planet. Like like there is some world that is ending every day. Yeah. You know, and I think that that's just so cool, because it's just too much. And I love that, you know.
It is really freaking funny.
And in some ways, our Fallout campaign is it's just so much, you know, like, and I love that.
No, it's incredible. And like the fact that Sophia made it a Fallout version of our hometown.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So freaking cool.
That adds a level of immersion that like really I never thought possible. Like the fact that as the story progresses, she can like call out street names and landmarks, and I can mentally put myself there because I have been there, because I live here.
Yeah.
You know?
And she also told me that we might be able to go find remains of like our houses.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so freaking cool.
Like
so cool.
We come over here and we find our dog who's been turned into a ghoul or something.
I was going to say he will still be alive.
Yeah.
He's becoming a ghoul, actually. I was petting him just earlier and I was like, wow, he's a little furry goblin at this point.
Yeah.
Our dog is like 90,000 years old, by the way.
He is. He's.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's a very old guy.
He's approaching the God Emperor.
He really is. Yeah. He's acquiring transcendence as we speak. Oh,
he is conversing with Adam as we speak.
He is. Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's enjoying Adam's blessings as well. He leaks out of his butt too.
Yeah.
Oh,
This animal is genuinely suffering, but it's really funny when you think about it the right way.
he's getting old. Yeah. Your sister's gonna watch this episode. And she's gonna slap you.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, she is. Yeah. I'm sorry, Sophia.
I'll release this when you're gone.
Yeah.
Can't reach you.
Please do. Or she can't get to me. Oh my goodness.
So you'll just get a text and be like, Ezekiel's dead.
Yeah, Ezekiel's dead. He's not a part of our campaign anymore. She's gonna kill me off screen and just not invite me to sessions anymore. That's what's gonna happen.
Right? You'll just be like, hey, you guys.
I'll be like, when's the next session? She's like, oh, you died. Oh,
For you, never.
that's what you get for making fun of our dog. Oh, I just realized the parallels between Bronx and Ezekiel. Bronx is also a stinky boy who has been given many of Adam's blessings as well. He just hangs on.
You don't know the funniest quirk that we learned about this dog recently?
Oh, what?
So Sophia's fed him eggs before. He's
Okay.
eaten eggs.
Okay.
She always scrambles them for him.
Yeah.
And we just like, chucking some scrambled
Sure.
egg bits. I made just fried eggs one morning,
Mhm.
just for myself and Sophia. And I was like, you know what? We have a dog. He can have an egg.
Yeah.
So I just made one with no seasoning or nothing. I fried it up. I broke the yolk. I was like, there you go.
Yeah.
That'll work. You won't get the napalm yolk in your mouth. You'll be
Yeah.
fine. And so we're like eating our breakfast, and he's sitting there staring, begging.
Of course.
The little turd he is. And I was like, oh, well, it's time. Here you go. I made an egg for you. Hand it to him. And he kind of like, and just kind of like grumbles and chews on it. And I'm like, what? You like eggs, idiot. Like, what are you doing? And then he like eats a chunk of it, spits a chunk out, and looks up at me. And I'm like, do you not want that piece? Like,
Yeah.
okay, sure.
He's such a diva.
So I gave him another piece. I put it in his mouth, and he shakes his head, spits it out.
What?
What on earth?
Oh.
This dog will not eat egg whites.
Only yolk. Oh, that's why he likes scrambled.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's all yolk.
It's all yolk. Oh my gosh. This
Can't tell.
This motherfucker.
That's so.
dingus, dude.
So he legitimately
Oh my God.
ripping the whites of the eggs out of our
I
hands and
can't
throwing them on the
believe that,
floor in
dude.
protest.
You heard it here first. Our dog hates whites.
Your dog
hates
says kill
whites.
the boar on a regular basis.
The dog hates whites. Skylar hates beans, legumes.
Anyway, moving on from that.
Yeah.
You have now played 2 different officially sanctioned systems as
Yes.
well as one of your own making.
Yes.
What do you think about them?
So the one of my own making, like we talked about before, was the campaign that I ran for the old youth group that I was in charge of. And, that was about as homebrew as it gets because I had no idea what I was doing. And now 2 officially sanctioned ones with completely different feels to it. So the one shot that you made for my other character, who's I ripped straight from Warhammer, that was the high fantasy D&D.
Mhm.
That was like your classic mechanics, yeah, just straight up just D&D. And I remember having so much fun with that. And I remember thinking how the mechanics of D&D were very intimidating at first look, but then once you start doing it, it becomes second nature. And I think we've all encountered that phenomenon again with the Fallout tabletop because the mechanics are completely different.
Yeah.
And so a lot of our sessions have been us like play testing on the fly and just like figuring stuff out together.
This is the Modifius Fallout RPG,
Yeah.
to be clear.
Yes, thank you, Sam.
Yeah. With some, I think we've done at this point with some homebrew stuff thrown in just to like make it efficient.
We've had to, because the system's a little unfinished.
Yeah.
Like there are just
Like every Bethesda
some things
Fallout game. It just works.
There,
what
there
if
are
they
a
did it
couple
on
things that
purpose?
don't make sense.
That's what I'm thinking.
What's that?
I said, what if they did it on
I think they did it
purpose
on purpose, honestly.
to match Fallout as a game?
Like we are the modding community to the Fallout tabletop
Listen,
RPG.
I mean,
Like
oh my
it
God.
makes sense.
Yeah, but so is every player. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because it's
That's
just
true.
not finished.
Yeah.
It's like if you had to. It's like if you were playing the Fallout video game, and you were required to like run a little bit of Python to actually get shops to work.
Yeah. That's like if you're running New Vegas on your PC. Like you have to download a patch for it to be playable.
Oh, no.
Like
Like a third party patch.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
yeah. It's not okay. But because we're in the Fallout community, we just go, it is what it
Been here
is.
before.
At least I can play New Vegas now after hours of modding,
Thanks, Bethesda.
Thank you. More slop, please. Yeah. So 2 officially sanctioned, realms of tabletop campaigning. And then, 1 of my own. Like the overarching lesson that I've learned from making my own and not knowing what I'm doing to being taken for just the wildest ride, with people who like really, really, truly know what they're doing and understand the game inside and out. The overarching lesson that I've learned is just give it a shot. Like whether it's making your own, whether it's just playing with people who know exactly what they're doing, whether it's having to take honestly an hour break in your campaign to just homebrew some mechanics that aren't finished yet, like just give it a shot.
Yeah.
Like your D&D I've seen is a lot like having children, right? Like I have 3 kids of my own. And I remember my mom told me that having kids is just jumping on a moving train. Like you'll never be ready. Just get on the train or don't. And that's kind of how it is with D&D. Like D&D is a moving train. Just get on it. Like it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just get on it.
This is really good advice.
It really because when I was making my own campaign, I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but like this is going to minister to a kid, like I'm doing this for them and I get to do something creative, so, and it, for some reason, weirdly, it's my job right now to do so. So I'm going to do it. And it worked out great. Like it was unpolished and it was clunky. And there were moments where I'd have to go as the DM say, because a kid would bring up, could we do this? And I'm like, I didn't write a scenario for that. If you can figure it out, go for it. And then they would, like it's so much less intimidating of a thing in practice. Like D&D is not scary in practice. It's only scary in theory. So just do it. Like just go for it.
That's how all of us started.
Yeah.
Like even Skylar, we all approached the game from a place of not knowing how most things work. Like, we had a pretty good idea. We could run combat. But like we would miss things all the time and then make up redundancies. And there's not a prerequisite level of knowledge really to run a good game.
Well, because be honest, like you've DM'd extensively. You've DM'd too, I'm sure. Some. Like, be honest, no matter how extensively you DM and no matter how intricately you understand the game, because ultimately what you're doing is you are dealing with people, you're going to improv at some point. There's going to be a part in your campaign where you're just like, fine, we ball. Let's just give it a shot, I
mean, that's the spirit of the podcast, really.
Right.
And of homebrew in general is personalization.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not just for the sake of, making a DLC for your already fully fledged D&D system. You know, it's doing what's necessary to give your players a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even going back to when I first started DMing, when I dragged all these fuckers into a back room at Moody and was like, all right, roll this.
Yeah.
Like, I had a binder full of notepad paper that I ripped out of one of my school notebooks, and I was like, I'm gonna write this super cool, crazy world. And I had like a pencil sketch of a map, 4 names written down, and I was like, I feel like this continent's cold. Go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's also supremely helpful in our Fallout campaign, just as far as like immersion and enjoyment. Immersion, because we have like genuine like actors at our table.
Yeah.
Like, not in like just some like hobbyist sense, but like they do that, you know?
Shout out to Aaron.
Absolutely. And that helps with immersion for obvious reasons. But also for enjoyment, because everybody at our table is there to have a good time. And because it's new mechanics, we're all there to learn together. You know, no one at our table, even me, who's very new to tabletop RPG stuff, no one at our table feels like an odd person out. You know, like we're all trying to figure out this mess together, you know? Yeah. And it's awesome. Like, again, it just further solidifies that lesson that I learned of just do it. Just give it a try.
It's a perfect set of people to have at any table, because I mean, I know from experience, introducing new players, like perfect environment.
Yeah.
To bring new players into.
Absolutely.
Willing to fill in the gaps, willing to, you know, prompt you if you need it.
Yep.
And then when everyone does know what they're doing,
right,
that's a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. Because then, like, if there is an element in a campaign where you're not quite sure what to do or where to go, like, that's where like real creativity comes into play. And that's where you start to like stumble upon like truly, truly great stuff. You know, I mean, I'm going to have to go over like our recaps and our Google Docs together. I have no idea where this story is about to go, but I can feel that it's about to get into like very like narratively explosive territory. Like something big's about to happen. And our world has been constructed so deeply and so densely by Sophia that like I find myself, like, if I ever have free time, which what's that? Whenever I have free time, I can go into like our Google Docs and the terminal entries that she's made, and I can like analyze stuff, you know, like, oh, like she changed the font here, or I haven't seen that name before. Let me think about like what that could be. And I can just kind of theorize in my head and homebrew almost in my head, just like my own predictions. I wonder if it's going to go here. I wonder if it's going to go there, you know, and bring that to the table next time, you know, like, guys,
I was thinking
in between diarrhea, I analyzed that prophecy from that one weird gypsy woman. I know exactly what's going to happen. And everybody can just go, no.
It'd be even funnier too.
That's not going to happen that way.
Would be like fully convinced. You'd be like, no, we'll get there.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. He's fully convinced that he's figured it out. I'm pretty well versed in the prophetic. Okay. Meanwhile, your more reasonable, rational character is just like, that was a person on drugs. It wasn't a prophecy. They are on drugs. It was a prophecy.
She looked into a glass ball. It was a prophecy.
Or, you know, like
look, I do this all the time. It's real.
That'll be the literal scientists that we're traveling with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The actual, those were drugs, Ezekiel. No, it was real. It was God. No, those were drugs. And we're going to go see what it is. Okay, great. We're all going to die.
There is excrement leaking into your shoes.
and that's what I love about our campaign is that, like, when you think about where we left off, what we're doing in essence, there's a small part of it. We are kind of just unwittingly chasing some weirdo's fever dream.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, what else are we going to do? That's the only lead we have, like.
That's the only thing to do other than sit in our own shit and eat animals.
And die. Like, it's like, if we're going to perish in the flame, we might as well do it exploring a place, because that place I might die with good loot. That's great.
Leave behind a pretty corpse.
Exactly. Who wants to die and drop common loot? Like, it's ridiculous.
Fucking King Tut over here.
Yeah. King Tut died with rarities.
There's a really good like biblical proverb in here somewhere. Like, live the kind of life that leaves uncommon loot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%. Absolutely.
It's a VBS proverb.
It is That's actually, that right there is a VBS theme. You're unlocking core memories for all of us. That is a VBS theme. Legacy. Like, legacy camp.
God.
You ever been to a legacy camp?
I have,
or something of
I
that
have
flavor?
almost certainly been to, you know what? Yes. I think I have been
Guys, we've all been to those camps. Come on.
I think I have been to a year of church camp where the theme was legacy.
Yeah.
Verbatim.
How many churches?
And the art was a lion head.
The art was a lion head legacy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We've all been to something like that. Yeah. How many churches in 2020 at the new year was Vision 2020? This is going to be the best one yet.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
Uh-oh.
Certainly the one my family went to.
Yeah. Guys, never before seen or heard. Vision 2020.
I have something so unique.
Guys, it's going to be the best year yet.
To be honest, I was extremely depressed that year for obvious reasons, just like many were, but I also took a sick pleasure from it as someone who very much bought into the whole nothing ever happens of it all.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was late March was thrilling.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. I remember. I'm
incredibly privileged to be able to
say
exactly. Something like that. That's messed up.
Yeah.
This is our Fallout. Our universe that we laugh at.
That crumbled that year. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember it was so thrilling. Like one day, because I was up in Chicagoland, I would take my family for a walk, because what else did people do back then besides go for a walk and kill each other over toilet paper? I remember I went for a walk, and then there was a playground that had police tape all over it.
Yeah.
Because if you touch the playground, then people will die. And it's just like, I remember thinking to myself, yo, my life a movie. You know what I mean? Like, there was an element to that where I was just like, yeah, all right, yeah, I'll make sure no one touches this freaking playground.
Quiet.
I'm waiting for roving bands of raiders and stuff. And, instead all we got was, we didn't get raiders.
I mean, kind of.
Well, we got looters.
Well, there you go. See.
I mean,
guys, we were so close.
Necessity did bear some of that.
Oh,
that's true.
The only thing we didn't do was follow through with the nuclear bombings.
All I'm saying, guys, we all could have had Fallout in real life. We just didn't take the COVID era far enough.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all I'm saying. See, again, you got to take the risk, take the next step, right? Take the next step. Cities are being looted. Get the key code to the bomb. Next step. We're almost there.
Procure the nuclear football. God,
exactly.
Sounds like the fucking the one mission from Black Ops 1.
Oh, which one was
Breaking the guy out of the Russian prison.
Yes, Reznov. Yeah. Skewer the winged beast, dude.
I feel like now I have to release this after you come back.
Yeah, right.
You're not gonna be able to get back.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm sorry. Let me back in the country when I need to be, please.
People of
Thank
America.
you. Please let me back in.
No, it's not people.
It's powers that be.
It's person of America.
Listen. All of this is in Minecraft. Okay, let me back in.
Our Christian Minecraft server.
Exactly. Yes. Thug Shaker Central or whatever. What was that one Minecraft server where they
you're thinking of
where they like leaked documents?
Yeah, you're thinking of a Warhammer based Discord server.
Oh man,
I think it was Warhammer. It's often Warhammer. No, sorry, not
Thunder.
War Thunder. Yeah,
yes, that's what it was.
Different type of war.
That's what it was. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And then
I'm never coming back. This is crazy.
The furry Discord channel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't a Discord channel. It was one person.
Oh, okay.
Who I follow on the internet. Yeah.
Just a single furry.
Yeah, just like an extremely
one furry to rule them all. Daggum, man.
Just a very very adept black hat hacker.
That's who is also a furry.
This is the same person that leaked the no-fly list.
One might say a black cat hacker.
She is a cat girl.
See, guys.
I'm saying
we're so close to being in Fallout. Guys, we just have to take it further.
Fallout New England.
They had that Far Harbor.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Fahaba.
Yeah.
That's in Maine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. We're so close, guys. We're so close. We just, again. You're taking it too far. No, we haven't taken it far enough.
You could help make this happen.
There's still greenery outside. We haven't taken it far enough.
Have the cows grown extra heads? No.
Not far enough. My wife and family and I, we are going to the Philippines, the Philistines. We're going to the Philippines to do mission work, and I mean we'll be back eventually, maybe after this releases, maybe not. So yeah, next big adventure here in a couple weeks we're gone. So yeah,
Crazy.
and then we're gonna be Fallout campaigning via Zoom essentially.
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to be Mr. House.
Yes.
It's so funny.
Yes. The corporate tyrant option. I love it. Love Mr. House, dude.
You're going to be the Wizard of Oz.
Yes, I am. The man behind the curtain.
Pay no attention to the man in the Philippines.
We'll be, because of the time difference, when we do a long distance Fallout campaign, it'll be y'all's evening. I'll be just waking up.
What's that, 14, 15 hours?
13 hours ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll be in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Just wild to think about.
So you can tell us the future.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I can. So if anything bad is going to happen, I can let you guys know ahead of time.
Yeah.
Or if anything good happens, I can let you know. I can spoil it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, guys, you'll never believe.
Tell us what the winning
guys,
lottery
Tuesday
numbers
is
are.
wild. Like, y'all are back in Monday. Tuesday is nuts. You're gonna love it.
You're not gonna believe Tuesday.
It's so sick. It's so sick.
So on a scale from 1 to 10, because you are going to be working with school-age children in the Philippines, on a scale from 1 to 10, how likely do you think it is that you do another D&D-esque campaign
10.
for the kids? Yeah?
100%. 100%. So
can I tell you an idea I had? I wish I had thought of this way sooner, because I would have loved to have given you a DM's guide in Tagalog.
Oh my gosh, dude. That'd be amazing. I would not know a single word. And
I think that's awesome.
Oh my goodness.
That would have been iconic.
That would have been awesome. Here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing too. Like, that would be incredible to have, but because of the situation that we're going to be in, which sounds weird when you put it that way. So we're going to be boarding home parents. So international students from all over the place are going to be living with us while they, do their high school career. And we're essentially stand-in mom and dad. So since I'm going to have kind of like that 24/7, my life is your life and your life is my life kind of contact with youth, the likelihood of doing some kind of D&D-esque tabletop thing is so high, because I want to do it again so badly, and we'll have the space to do it. Like, it's a dorm, we have common areas we can use. It's going to be great. And having a DM's guide in Tagalog, like, would be really cool to have, but because it's an international school, like, there's going to be so many like languages at the table. It's an English speaking school primarily, but there's going to be like, we have Chinese students. We have a few American kids thrown
that. Okay.
Oh yeah. So I think our dorm, I think like 3 different countries are represented in our dorm, but in our school at large, it's upwards of 30 countries are represented at the school.
Dang.
So I mean, I'm gonna need DM guides in just every language, period.
Google Translate. Google Translate.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but the likelihood of doing something like that so high, because one of the expectations of being a dorm parent is like you're tasked with setting the culture of your home for these kids. And one of the staples of the culture of our home that I want to do is creative fun. Like I want to be creative. I want to have fun. We're going to be spending time together. We're basically aunt and uncle now. Mm-hmm. Like, so you're going to play D&D with me, like,
have you been kind of crafting something on your own in advance, or like has the idea crossed your mind even?
So, I mean, I have not necessarily in the D&D realm. Like I've been crafting like creative ways that I want to like build relationships with these kids and things I want to do, again, for like, culture setting. Yeah. I have some ideas that are they're just very, very vague that I would like pound out on like a notes app for like 5 minutes. Like, if I were to do a campaign, this would kind of be the setting. It would have this kind of a feel. Okay, 5 minutes of free time over, but nothing really set in stone. I mean, it could really be anything. And I like collaboration too. I mean, we're going to be living with 15 high school age kids. They all have ideas that they can contribute to. So we could even kind of do just like a big melting pot. Everybody gets one great idea, throw it in. I'll make something. Yeah. So. Yeah, but nothing really concrete or set in stone.
Yeah.
Know what you should do?
What?
Pacific Rim, Philippines.
Holy moly!
Oh snap! Hold up now, like a kaiju hunting campaign or something.
That would go kind of crazy.
That would kind of
it's really like a monster of the week type of thing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Or some kind of like fire demon from an ancient volcano.
Oh, there you go.
Because of that whole archipelago,
Oh,
or has now been released and you have to figure out what to do with it. Or, I mean,
the forces of nature have been like unleashed and you have to like reseal them so they don't tear the island apart.
And we're witness to it first because of how like, honestly, just like edge of the globe you are when you're over there, that'd be pretty sweet. Like,
you know what I think?
You are the hurricane sandbag.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so cool, dude.
You know what I think would hit incredibly hard? This is what I would do. Just because of how like the most influential stories in my life have hit me, is I would pick a student, unbeknownst to anybody. Yeah. Once I kind of get like, their culture, when they're from, especially since this is like, an international house, right?
Yeah.
And with a good understanding of where they come from and like what the culture is, what the religions are, what the lore is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Craft an arc that like echoes pretty hard.
Yeah.
Where they and never bring it up, but just watch them be like,
it's like,
wait a minute,
draw from culture and mythology, and be like,
that'd be so sick. That would be so freaking cool. That's actually that's a fantastic idea. I mean, one of our literal job descriptions on the paper that we had to sign for this job was like bridge any kind of like cultural gaps that might be among your students. Cause you'll have kids from everywhere. That would be really cool. Yeah. Oh, all right. I'll have to write that down. I'm gonna have to do that. 100%. Yeah.
Well, hey, and if you forget when the episode goes live, you can listen to it again.
That's true. Yeah. I can use this as source material. That's perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm held accountable to it. Now people are going to be like, did you do it?
Exactly.
Don't brush it off. Did you do it? That's perfect. That's great. Because I'm going to need something to plan while they're at school.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
Bada bing, bada boom. You know? That's awesome. Yeah. So likelihood of that, I'd say 10 out of 10. Absolutely. Like, yeah.
Well, the last question that I had for you, and I'll open the floor to whatever Sam has, but In the time that tabletop RPGs have been a thing for you,
Yeah.
you made your own.
Yes.
You played it with the kids in the youth group.
Mhm.
We had the one shot. You got into D&D,
Mhm.
and then we've been playing Fallout.
Yeah.
What do you think your favorite part or parts of being at the table are? Strengths, weaknesses of you as a player? Like,
Mhm.
what is your journey through tabletop RPG role playing been?
That's a really good question. I think my favorite aspect overall, and I think it will continue to be, is just immersing myself in a good story. Like I see, and this is just me personally, I see D&D far less as a game to be played and more just the game and the mechanics as a vessel for storytelling. It is a way to engage compelling narrative. That's how I've always taken it. I've noticed, especially in our Fallout campaign, that because it is very narratively dense, I find that there are longer periods where I find myself just being quiet and just listening and taking it in. Not because I don't know what to do with myself, but because I'm genuinely just like very enthralled by the story in that moment. I'm just taking it in and I'm just like, whoa, you know. Me as a player, I think a strength that I have is, I think that is one of my strengths, is I'm willing to sit back and listen. I try really, really hard, not just in D&D, but in life, to not become quote unquote that guy. Right. Like we talk about, you know, in the D&D, in the hobby and in the community, you know, like not every table, hopefully, but everyone has had that campaign where that guy was there. Whatever characterizes him, everybody knows exactly who that is. Right. And I try really, really hard to not be. And I think one of my strengths is my willingness and my desire to sit back and listen when it's time for me to just sit back and listen. But I also think that can be a weakness sometimes, because I think I allow myself to not engage as much as maybe some people would want me to, and hide behind, well, I'm just trying to be a good listener, when it's like, no, like get in here with us, you know?
Yeah, more along the lines of like experiencing the story as opposed to being a part of it.
Yeah. And that's something that I'm trying to work on more, especially with such a goofy and bombastic character like Ezekiel. He has proven to be the challenge that I need to just shed the shyness a little bit, you know, ham it up a little bit, you know, when it's appropriate and called for.
Get in there, all over the stage.
Exactly. Yeah. Just go for it, you know? Like I remember when I was trying to find like his voice, you know, I was playing around with like, is his voice a little bit more somber? Is it a little more cartoonish? Is it a little more ghouly? And I kind of landed on like a guy who's kind of flip-flopping back and forth between a human and a ghoul. So there's like some rasp to it. And like, don't be shy. Like, your character has a voice and you want to do a voice for him, you freaking do a voice for him. Mm-hmm. And if it comes off a little weird or a little cringe, who cares? Like, because we're adults playing an RPG tabletop game. Like, it's not that deep, you know, like, have fun. So I think my greatest strength as a player has also proven to sometimes be a weakness as well. You know, making my own campaign showed me that I do genuinely love creating story as much as I love experiencing it as a player. I don't know like what the future of like DMing necessarily is for me. Like if we try in our dorm over in the Philippines to like, if I try to like really run a campaign and it like is really fun and like really speaks to kids. I mean, I could see myself doing it, you know, because I love creating story just as much as I love experiencing it. And D&D has showed me that. That being either a player or a creator both are equally as compelling for me. Because I just love all of it, you know. Yeah, but I know that being a player has afforded me the privilege of watching other experienced players, and again, shout out to Aaron, like genuine actors, like really just go hard with a good story. You know, it's cool to witness and be a part of at the same time. So, yeah.
I think it's been equally cool to watch you come into your own as a player. At least over the sessions that I've played with you. And
to be fair, you've seen most of them because you were in the one shot.
That's a good point. Yeah.
The one shot too. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's super true. One thing that you've been great at from the beginning is just connecting with your own lore. And, you know, I guess this is like just a basic point of acting, but using it as a base for every response that you give, you know, like you're really connected to your backstory.
I appreciate that.
In the characters that you play. And I think that is a good time to watch.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate you saying that. I like my character's backstory. I think that's another point of advice I would have for new players is like, if you don't like your character's backstory, like you need a different backstory. Like it sounds super obvious, but I feel like some people might run into that where they're like, they were maybe trying to do something with a character and it didn't quite work, but then they were like, well, I don't really like him. I'm just going to stick with it because I don't want to go through making a whole new character. It's like, just make a new one. Like the rule of cool will always trump like anything else, you know, like, yeah, Ezekiel's backstory, it's a bit much and it's layered, but it just means I got more to play with and just lean into it. You know, again, like I didn't know how this character would go, but I just was just like, I'm just going to lean into it as hard as possible. And it worked out great. But yeah, I appreciate you saying that because I like his backstory. Mm-hmm. I really do. There's more I would love to do with it, you know?
Oh yeah. And I think that's the cool part about, you know, us figuring out a way to get the like Discord call set up so that we can have you jump in on sessions, even from over there, because we don't want to stop playing the Fallout campaign.
No,
like this
I don't either.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about Fallout that Sophia has ground into me through watching her play so many games is that, like, you know, sometimes your companions in the game just have other quests and you just be like, I'm going to let Boone hang out here for a little bit because I want to take this person on this quest.
Yeah.
Because they've got something happening over here. So like we can very easily say like Ezekiel's off doing his own thing if the rest of the group have like a session or two of stuff that we want to get done.
Absolutely.
And then we can come back and be like, yo, Tyler, you available this day? Let's get Ezekiel back.
Yeah.
And so like there's so much flexibility in it. And I don't know. I love the freedom of that setting in that campaign. Mm-hmm. Almost more so than like actual D&D. Like you can just say like, who's not going to be here? Okay, cool. Your character's doing something else. We'll figure that out later.
It's easy with Ezekiel too, because his life is essentially owned by religious tyrants. You can just say like, oh, he was like forced to go on a mission. Like, or he has like a cancer fueled vision quest that he's on right now. We're just going to kind of leave him in that room for a bit.
Or we just like locked him in a porta potty and kept moving for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you could, like, he really is a character that you can kind of just like stick in a mental Pokeball and just say, I choose you. Like when it's his time,
that's
funny. And that works out great.
That's actually a fantastic way to describe like a well-built character.
Yeah.
It's Pokeball.
Yeah. It's something you can just summon like whenever.
That's true.
You know, at full health.
Yeah. You can summon greater.
Whoa!
Guys.
Summon greater prostate cancer.
Jesus. Yeah.
There's a new spell for you.
You have cancer now.
I cast tungsten ball sack. Have you seen those memes?
No.
Fuck, I'll have to show them to you later.
Oh, that's outstanding.
There's a whole like line of memes of like brutally realistic and hilarious wizard spells.
Oh, that's outstanding. I love that already. That's fantastic. That needs to be a D&D mechanic like yesterday.
Oh yeah. Like I cast testicular torsion.
Well,
you
let
cast
this
that and you're not a murderer because they kill themselves. Okay.
let this serve as a reminder to probably a sizable portion of the listening audience to go get that check soon.
Yes, get that checked. I have to do my checkup before we leave the country.
Oh, good.
Get checked. Catch it early.
Be healthy.
That's legitimate. Get checked. Be healthy. Have your homie check you.
Normalize checking on the homies.
Exactly. It's fine.
Come on.
It's only gay if you kiss afterwards.
All right. Holy moly.
Well, that's our time for today, folks.
Dude, homebrew doctor's appointments, man.
Really don't do that, actually.
No, get checked by a professional.
We do not support or condone at-home prostate exams. Good yard.
Tyler, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. This was so much fun. Thank you.
It's always a good time hanging out when it ends with talking about prostate exams. So.
Absolutely. 100%. It's my favorite thing.
Fellas and ladies and everything in between. Thank you so much for listening. Send us your homebrew suggestions to summongreaterpod@gmail.com and summongreaterpod.bsky.social.
Woo!
And of course, your recommendations as well for Summon Greater soundtrack.
Yeah.
Until next time, find some homies and brew with them.
Get your prostate checked.
Thank you for your time. I hope it was worth it.
My time is yours.
Get out of here.
See you next time. Goodbye.